What's going on, everybody? We're back with another episode. Another episode of a half hour of bullshit. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Josh.
And, so, it's November. Halloween. Did you have a good Halloween?
I had a good Halloween,
Wasn't
as
bad.
one would say.
As what?
I had an eventful Halloween.
Oh. Anything you want to share? Anything eventful you can share?
Well,
Or is this
we'll
need
talk
to be
about
classified?
it probably toward the end, but
Okay.
I did DJ a pretty cool event, so if you want to hear the details of that, stick around to the end.
Absolutely. There you go. Yeah, our Halloween was, just took a kid trunk-or-treating. Bunch of places, not gonna lie. I love Halloween season, but I'm kind of glad it's over now. Look at this fucking bucket here. He ain't gonna eat all that shit.
Oh, give me some
He
of
ain't
that.
gonna eat all that shit.
Hand me
Go
some of
ahead.
that.
So,
I'm gonna get some of that candy.
so anyways, but where's November? And November is notoriously known for being pretty light on horror. We're getting close to award season, and as you know, unless you're Jordan Peele, you're not really gonna get any awards if you're in the movie or the horror realm. Or I guess Guillermo del Toro, he kind of gets in there sometimes. But so there's only two movies that we got to talk about today. So we'll just kind of jump right into it. Opening up on the 18th of this month, we're going to talk about The Menu, where this couple goes to this like exclusive party, dinner party, and the chefs are making the finest dishes in the world. But something isn't quite right. So we just watched the trailer together, actually. I'll let you take the lead on this one. What did you think about The Menu?
So, the thing that I found the best looking about The Menu was the actors. All the actors are a really good cast. That being said, I was pretty bored during the trailer. It's not got much for me going. I don't know what if I'm gonna trust that there's probably more to that.
Yeah.
To the movie, but the trailer didn't have me going, so maybe I'm happy about that, maybe I'm sad about that, but either way, this is the type of movie that I'll maybe check out.
Maybe.
I don't know what it's about.
I agree.
Can't
I
really
mean,
tell.
it's a very vague. Yeah, I was like, the description I gave was very vague. You know. I agree with you for one. Ralph Fiennes and I can always butcher her name, Anya Taylor-Joy from The Witch. I think she did Thoroughbreds. Either way, it doesn't matter. Brilliant actress. What the fuck in night movie she did? Split and the other one, the one that came after Split. Glass. Thank you. My God, I'm slipping in my
She's
old
good.
age. Oh yeah, I think she's a really great actress. Oh, and she did that. I didn't watch it. You did. Last Night in Soho.
Yep.
Yeah,
She
you're right.
was fine.
Yeah, and so I really dig the
That
cast
movie
here.
was fine.
I
I
haven't.
talked about the fact that movie was fine.
Fine.
Very needy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you told me it was kind of underwhelming considering it was your boy.
It felt like studio involvement, truthfully. And I don't think the guy can get a movie made without it now.
Unless he goes independent and can blow it away. That's
I don't
how
know.
it works. Like literally, like people will shit the bed, and then some of them give up, but then some of them are like, nope, I'll go to Blumhouse. I'll slum it.
Because I like a lot of what he does.
Mm.
I didn't like this very much.
Admittedly, aside from Baby Driver, I only know his.
Baby Driver.
Brilliant. His Simon Pegg.
Well, the Coronado trilogy.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I know. I didn't
Trilogy.
watch.
Like
Trilogy.
I'm super
Look
cool.
at that. Look at this trendy guy over here just throwing around
The
slang.
Coronado trilogy. Like I'm some crazy,
Corno
crazy Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg.
He's a mark.
I like Paul.
Wasn't Edgar Wright though.
Is it not?
No. It's actually Greg Motorola, something like that. Super bad, and did a lot of episodes of Arrested Development. So
Felt like Edgar Wright.
Nah. I could tell instantly, and I hate to be like that guy who's just like, well, can't think of like this, but
Well,
it was because it was just like
You can tell in direction, but
Yeah.
as far as comedic delivery, when you
See, I
got
think-
Simon Pegg.
I also I
behind-
think Simon Pegg and Nick Frost were so we've seen that so much from Edgar Wright that you couldn't help
It's
but
a
you know
given.
yeah.
their banter is so quick.
But so I like the cast of The Menu, and like you, it's like I don't know what the fuck this is really going to be about, and that does intrigue me. I think because the same reason you kind of said, like it gives you nothing in the trailer, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like you, I'm not like super excited about it, but there's just this part of my subconscious that's just
curiosity.
nagging, like what's that going to be? I'll be honest with you, not just horror-wise, there's not really shit coming out in the month of November that I care about. Like, I've already looked at the list. Don't give a fuck about anything coming out.
What about Black Panther 2?
No.
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever. Electric Boogaloo.
Listen,
yes, I'm in.
I didn't think the first one was going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. Let me correct that. I didn't think the first one was very good. I thought it was fine. It's a very regular Marvel movie.
Greatest movie of all time.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
There's the Avengers
But
quadrilogy.
I do think the second one will actually probably... It could go either way. Either it'll be divisive or it'll be just like a stupid smash. Like a stupid smash.
This is going to sound like me just being a smartass. This is going to sound like me just being a dick, too.
All of the money.
But I got to ask, like, I don't know. I literally know zero about any of this. How are they getting around Black Panther being dead?
He's dead.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, so is he dead in the story, too? Like,
yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know. Okay, so are we...
So it's going to be like a tear fest.
Well, I didn't know.
Anytime the tears show up in a movie, it makes it like...
Now, again, I'm not familiar with the comics
cry.
As well. Is it like Robin? Like, will there be another Black Panther?
Yeah.
Or okay, so
yeah, in the trailer.
Okay. Oh, it's like, there you go.
Don't worry, Marvel revealed it.
Oh, did they? They're like, we don't want you guys.
Spoiler.
Yeah. They're like, don't worry about it. We don't want you guys to be surprised in that theater.
You don't know who it is. But
we don't know.
But it's got a very feminine silhouette.
If it's not Kurt Russell, I don't care.
It's probably Kurt Russell.
I want Kurt Russell.
It looks like Kurt Russell.
If it's not Kurt Russell, I'm in.
I'm pretty sure.
Fucking Kurt Russell!
You heard it here
We're
first.
We're going
Kurt
to the
Russell is
premiere.
The next Black Panther.
The half-hour bullshit guys are going to the premiere to see Kurt Russell on the red carpet. So, yeah, the menu, I'm giving it a slight thumbs up. It is the only thing I really want to see coming out this month. And, again, I'm not saying I'm super pumped for it, but I am intrigued. So
I'll probably give it a try.
Yeah.
If I see it for free.
Heck yeah. Yeah, obviously that's how I have to do it. So you bootleggers out there, get fucking working, because I got bootleg that shit. I didn't say that. All right.
If I'm like, I really need to go to the movies and there's nothing else on that I want to see. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I might get a hair.
Is Black Panther coming out before this or after this, or do you know?
Like the 17th.
Fuck.
Or 19th.
Right there. Oh, it's right there. Same weekend there. So, yep. That's what's going up against. Actually, that's good counter-programming, because anybody who doesn't like it would fall through that.
I think that tells you that it's probably going to fail. Those movies are probably just in November for failure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're both kind of on the same page with the menu. Mm-hmm. So, next week, after that, the 23rd, film called Bones and All. And I'll be honest with you, this thing was very vague. Even the description in IMDb just said it's a couple who are kind of just living life on the outskirts of town. And yet it has drama, horror, and romance as its top three genres. I'll take the lead on this one. It has Timothy Chalamet. Did I say that right? Chalamet? I feel like I want to put an M at the end. Like Redmayne, like Eddie Redmayne, but I know it's not it. So, but it has the girl from...
so you want it to be Chalamet?
I want to be Chalamet. I want him to be, yes.
Chalamet.
Like Gucci Mane. Just, I want to be this hardcore rapper.
Chalamet.
And then the girl from Escape Room is in it. Taylor Russell, I believe is her name. And so they're the couple that's in question here. Now, I will say this. There's two parts of my brain, because I'm going to contradict myself right here, and I do this quite a bit on the show, I noticed, but... They don't give a lot away. I just gave props for the menu for not giving a whole lot away. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is going on. Basically, the best I can tell, it's like Natural Born Killers, but without the Tarantino dialogue. It literally is just, this couple kind of on the run, on the road, and murder ensues. However, I don't know. It just looks too fucking artsy, and I know this is where we're going to differ. It reminds me of, what was that fucking Ryan Gosling? Driver. The Driver?
No.
It has that kind of vibe to me.
That class.
And it's just
don't give it that class.
Where that movie, it seemed like it was just too fucking artsy and was trying to be one thing and going... Well, no. I'm not saying like that. I'm talking about more like the tone, the vibe of it. Not the look. But
it's not even that silent.
But it seems like it's just going to be very art house.
I think it's more just...
And not just art house.
Romancy.
Pretentious art house. This is the movie, I feel like... So I have friends who aren't really the biggest horror fans. But when A24 will pump something out... And I'm not saying, not shitting on them. We've had discussions before. We love A24 here on the show. But like every time A24 pumps something out, they just jack off all over. And they're like, that's it. That's fucking horror right there. It's elevated horror. That's what I like. That's, everything else you talk about is shit. But this is horror. And I feel like this movie was made for those people. My friends will probably fucking jack off to the trailer to this and then fucking love it. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. Not big on it. And the fact that it's romance also kind of me. Like, I don't care about that generation romance. Maybe if I was younger, I'd be like, oh, right. I can see myself in these shoes. Never saw Timothy in action. I know I'm told he's a great actor, and I have no reason to doubt that. Because motherfuckers like nominated for like Academy Award like every year seems like him and like Eddie Redmayne are just like the two dudes who are just like constantly like walking around like, hey, we're great actors, and everybody's like, you goddamn right, you're here's your Oscar.
Listen, it might be good.
Go ahead, no,
they're two good actors.
They are two good actors. That's what the last movie had, two good actors. So it's like,
I like the minimalism of cast.
Yeah, something I respect myself.
I'm not sure about the music soundtrack wise in the trailer, but that's not always
that's
the sign
case,
of the actual movie.
Absolutely.
Though I have a sneaking suspicion that it is,
Think it is?
in this case.
It is. It does seem. I don't want to say independent, but it does have like that independent vibe to it. It may be. I don't know. I don't remember.
It looks very grounded.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's brutal.
Well,
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Well, that's the thing, though, is intercut in this trailer, you do see glimpses of brutality. He bludgeons a motherfucker with a tire iron, and blood spatters up on him. Gets in Charlamagne's hair.
We'll see, though.
So,
Like, does it look brutal? Or is it just implied the whole time?
I mean, that one clip was, like, explicit. Like, that was, like, that's... Unless somehow if he cuts and you realize it's, like, it's a dream sequence, or it's, like... He's just hitting a can of paint because, and that's the director's whatever. So bones and all, where you fall on this one?
Maybe.
I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those that I have no desire to see. But if you come back and literally tell me like, hey, worth checking out, I'll put it on the list.
Timothy's good enough, and she's pretty good.
I think she's good. Yeah, I think she's good.
She was probably the strongest part of Escape Rooms, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Even though I'd put her 3 as far as like who I liked in it, because it has old boy from Tucker and Dale in it, and it has the kid that was Scouts versus the Zombie Apocalypse or some bullshit like that, and then he also did an episode of It's Always Sunny, and he did the Stanford Prison Experiment. I like that kid.
Well, don't forget Karen Page is in the second one.
Who's Karen Page?
Well, she's the bottom lady. She's the Karen Page from Daredevil.
Gotcha.
The TV show.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that. Was she the one that couldn't feel pain? The one that, or was she the other one?
She's the one that shows up at the end. And only one of the cuts.
Yeah, no, Deborah something. I like her in or Deborah Ann Wall or something like that, or Ann Deborah Wall. She was in True Blood. She was their head checking that one.
True Blood is vampires, right?
Yeah, it's like Twilight porn. Until it became not like it's like Game of Thrones where everybody's like titties, check out some fucking titties, and then when they start getting paid, they're like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna respect.
Is it actually good though?
I didn't like it. No, I don't do it. It really, it's just.
My brother recommends it.
It's a lot of people like it. I don't know. It had that CW vibe, like with the exception of showing tits.
But
it was just fucking romance.
More money
bullshit.
in it, though.
I mean, yeah, it worked. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They had a good run. They did like 7 seasons, but I got the season.
It's better than Vampire Diaries.
Oh, I'd hope, because that's CW. That's completely neutered. Then you can't show titties on there. They threw some titties in there. See, this is what happened. I feel like my prayer was answered in the weirdest way. I watched Twilight. And I'm just like, God, they just had some titties.
Was there titties in it? Was there not titties in it? That's Daniel's rating right here.
You heard it. You heard it first. And I feel like when I watched Twilight, I was like, God, this needs some titties. And then they're like, hey, you want some titties and vampires? We got you covered here on HBO. But it's the same bullshit formula. She's in like 2 different love triangles. Like she starts off with some Viking-looking dude and the main guy, and then they split up and another guy. I don't know. It's bullshit. I fucking hated it. But yeah, titties. So there we go.
So
until it didn't.
Bones and all.
So yeah.
It's a maybe.
It's a maybe, I guess. It's a maybe if you recommend it. If you don't recommend it, nah, it's not even on my radar.
I'll end up watching it.
So I know you didn't watch any of the movies we covered last week, so I'll kind of brief them and give you my thoughts on them. I watched Halloween Ends. I mean, you called it.
Talk about it.
My God, you called it.
Tell me.
So to keep it short, because I don't want to dwell on this more than I have to. It's a completely different movie. A different tone from everything he did previously. Like, the guy did the trilogy after Halloween, in the timeline. And so, tonally, it's completely different. It has a drama coming-of-age vibe to it for the first, 45 minutes. It doesn't Halloween till later. And I know everybody's going to be like, what, isn't that character development? Like, yeah, but we're in part 3. We should already have these characters developed at this point. Like, you don't know how to fucking sequel right, It was dramatic, big time, and then it just seemed like, I don't know. The music was good, and a couple kill scenes were okay, but it's just like... And I think a lot of it's going to be this, as much as I'm going to shit on the premise, because, I don't know, maybe I'll watch it in 10 years and be like, oh my god, brilliant. But it seems like when Halloween 2018 came out, I hated it. Still do. But then when Halloween Kills came out... I know a lot of people shit on it. I really liked it because they fixed everything in Halloween 2018. Everything that I was like, this is stupid, was addressed there. And it felt like it wasn't necessarily that Laurie and Michael have a connection because they fucking don't and they establish that shit. It's almost like the town itself was just batshit crazy. And as weak as that is for a Halloween movie... I had nothing after 2018, so guess what? I took it. I was like, fuck it, this is where we're going, cool. And it feels like you're going that route, and I don't want to give too much away because it is a new release, but they don't go all the way with it. I've heard a lot of people compare it, and they're absolutely right. This is very Friday the 13th Part 5. If you've seen that, you know exactly what I'm talking about, so I don't have to give away too much after that. I don't know.
Did you watch the Peacock version?
Well, it turns out I thought there was 2 different versions, but I looked it up. I couldn't find another version anywhere else. Like, I looked up what the theatrical version, because I watched it on Peacock, it didn't change from what I seen. So I don't know if that was just some kind of marketing thing or what, but I didn't see an alternate ending or anything.
Boo.
Yeah. So here's what I will give it. I will say that they literally did try something different. I will not shit on David Gordon Green for trying something different. It just wasn't for me.
Is it the best movie ever? Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Not even close.
Maybe.
So when 2018 came out, I even remember saying you know what? I don't like it. There's elements of it I did like, but overall I didn't like it. But I was like, it's better than Resurrection. And then I watched this. No, there's a new bottom in the Halloween franchise, and it is Halloween Ends. So
we went deeper.
We went deeper.
We lowered the bar.
Oh God, they should be proud of themselves.
Listen,
didn't even need Busta Rhymes to do it either. I mean,
speaking of lowering bars, let's talk about Avatar 2's new trailer that just came out today. What? Did you not watch Avatar, the phenom?
Oh no, watched it. Watched it. Wasn't big on it.
Whatever year.
Not my thing.
How? It's a visual spectacle.
That's what it is. And honestly, that's the only thing. Whenever I saw it in theaters, it was like, oh, it's pretty impressive. Story shit, but pretty impressive. And then I get home.
Fern Gully, it's not shit.
It's Fern Gully meets Dancing with Wolves. Fucking A, right? So I wasn't big on it.
Invaders are bad, and the natives are good.
It felt, honestly, and I know this story's been out a million times, so I mean, I just ain't nothing new, but for its time, I just felt like, and even though he was out of the office, it felt like James Cameron spent so much time just to slam Bush. He was just fuck George Bush and the war in Iraq. And don't get me wrong, I'm not getting political. I don't like George Bush either, but I'm not going to spend $100 million to make a statement that's yep, we're going to go to this island and mine it for.
Was it that much?
Unobtainium? I don't know. It was a lot. It was quite a bit. But he made it back. He made it back 20 fucking times. Whatever he put into it, because it grossed. It broke whatever records was that year. It was
It's a good movie.
Fair enough. I mean, I respect your opinion. Like I said, see, that's the thing too. It's also, it seems like it's more even though we both have our feet in multiple genres, that kind of epic sci-fi adventure, that is kind of more on your thing, and that's just never been my thing. So I just...
See, I don't even find it that sci-fi, really. I mean, it is, but...
Don't say, come on now.
No, that's not the aspect I like.
No, you're right. No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's kind of, it has war elements, it has romance.
This is even less that, because it's more just the Na'vi.
But it is, aliens running
Na'vi
around.
native. Wow.
This guy.
James Cameron's real far up. He's not on the nose at all.
Right? Well, isn't the the mineral they're trying to get is like called like unobtainium or something.
Unobtainium.
Is that okay? I thought
really
I was maybe I thought I was like
really
hallucinating
that wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
Wasn't an aside.
Yeah, it's like son of a bitch, James. You did Terminator 2. God damn it! What is okay?
Hey.
So
hey.
Cool it. So the next movie I watched that came out last month that we talked about was Terrifier 2.
I heard good things about this.
No, have to, and don't get me wrong, I loved it. But I'm gonna give the same reason I fucking hate Halloween is like I should hate this one. Like it starts. I mean, again, this one wasn't too bad because the characters were likable. I guess that helped out too. But this movie gets fucking brutal. Like that's what I love about it. This movie. Just it pulls.
So is
no
Halloween
punch.
Ends really brutal?
No, not really.
Okay.
The opening
Never
scene
mind.
of Halloween Ends was okay, but
care.
yeah.
I know, let's not waste time on that one.
Terrifier 2 was fucking brutal. And then, on top of that, the last third act just gets fucking weird. Like, it makes no sense plot-wise, but here's what I think. I think the director is doing this purposely. I think he has the entire thing painted out, and he's just giving us a little piece at a time. Because seriously, when it gets to that third act, you're like, how's this possible? What's going on? This is fucking weird. This is what? And I will accept that we're just in some weird nightmare world that's just like, fuck it, there are no rules and reality isn't what you think it is. But I also think there's maybe more to it than that, and this guy is just... But either way, I'm getting a big thumbs up.
Baby bird feeding.
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, yeah, I think he's a little piece of puzzle.
Phantasming, as you would.
Kind of, yeah, absolutely. But like I said, the only thing I will say I don't like about this, and this goes for the first Terrifier as well, is he relies too much on gross stuff. And I know that may be his thing, but like, I don't need to see shit in my movies. I don't need, and I'm just like, excrement, like stuff like that, just gross out stuff.
Really?
I'm cool with gore. Give me all the gore. Dude, rip a dude's intestine out and fucking eat it. I'm okay with that.
Poo.
But you get to poo and piss. I don't know. I don't like it.
You see enough of that being a dad.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, I don't know.
Do you still wipe your son's ass?
I still do. We're doing the potty training right now, and...
How's it going?
He's good at peeing in the thing, but he doesn't care about the pooping. Like, and they told us, like, put regular underwear on him, because when he poops himself, he'll feel uncomfortable. He don't want to do that. And so... we did that, put the underwear on, and he shit himself and didn't look any different. He didn't even look on his face like, no. He went about his fucking day with shitty underwear, and I'm just like, you can't let him go like that.
That's
like,
how my brother is.
Oh my gosh,
That's how my brother is today.
Last week, actually.
When he was a child.
So it's one of those things where it's like, son of a bitch. But yeah, dry diapers, he's good on the front part of that, but yeah, pooping. But the funny thing is, when he does it, he'll just kind of stop, and you're like, no! And you run over, it's like, fuck, Ellen. Why'd you do it? So, but no, Terrifier 2, I give it a big thumbs up.
Except for
but I will say this. No. I even like the ending. Like I said, I'm on board. The weirdness of the ending, it's very... I feel like I wrote a slasher. Made it fucking brutal. I was like, Josh, rewrite that last part. And then you rewrote it Josh's way and didn't bother to fix the first part. That's what it really felt like. So, I mean that in the most... positive way. I liked it, but it is weird. So I may get some comments like, you didn't like Halloween because it was different. Well, fuck you, because that was done shittily. This was actually done pretty good.
I keep telling myself I'm going to watch the Terrifier series, but the thing is, I have to watch 2 movies.
Yeah, see, I don't know if it would be a Josh movie. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just feel like...
it's all violence.
I mean, unless you like the violence, I think that'd be the only thing that would pull you in. But I don't know if you'd like the story at all. It's just, I don't know. It is kind of cheap on certain aspects, but that's why I like about it, because it reminds me of like these old like 80s slashers. I don't know. I love the violence, but I think you would like the weirdness of 2. I think there'd be certain aspects of 2 you'd be like, I like that. And you'd know as soon as you see it, you're like, yeah, this is what...
I wish the story was better.
And like I said, I'm cool with the story, but like it is, I just don't think it'd be a Josh movie. That's it. So Josh, I'm done talking for a second. Well, have you seen anything new recently? Because we only had 2 movies this week, so we got some time to fill.
Anything new. Well, the other day I watched the end of Ava again. The end of Evangelion, the greatest anime series.
You've been trying to get me to watch this. Okay, yeah.
Neon Genesis Evangelion is probably the greatest anime series of all time.
That's fair.
It's dramatic, melancholic, anxiety-driven, existentialism.
But also
giant robots.
Yeah. Okay, you told me on the Death Note, so I trust your opinion.
With crazy Christian imagery. sacrilegiously used.
I'm all a fan about that. You know that.
Yeah,
So.
you'll enjoy the imagery.
All right.
The thing is, I've never seen something with such good imagery.
In what sense exactly? I mean, just the imagery. I mean, is it beautiful as well, or is it just the?
I mean,
when
you sit back and you think that someone had to hand draw all these frames, you're like,
okay, gotcha.
holy smokes.
So
how did they accomplish this?
It's not just the imagery, but just the beauty of the actual.
Gosh.
Gotcha.
You should be taken back by the art. On top of the story being this thing that's ridiculous. But also, because it all goes as one big hand-in-hand thing. It's one big creation to deliver like a message. So the image is poignant.
So that's the one thing, I know I'm going to bring it down for a second. I'm sorry. I apologize ahead of time. But when Jordan Peele was talking about what he was trying to achieve with Nope, he brought that show up a lot. And I mean, he was like, that was a big inspiration for him. And it was for that kind of reason, for this like biblical imagery or whatever. And so I don't know. I feel like that a show must have like a lot of layers to it, and I like that aspect to it. So I don't know. I will say I have seriously given consideration of watching it because it's just like
it's the greatest anime of all time.
So I'll definitely
don't get into it for the action, but stick around for it.
There you go. Fair enough.
You're gonna have to see a lot of people be sad
before it gets really even after.
Okay, so what would happen if teenagers were thrown into giant robots and had to fight huge monsters that were going to destroy the world, and they had to keep surviving, and they'd almost get killed, and then they'd survive, and they'd almost get killed? What would happen?
Oh, dude, they'd be traumatized, man.
Traumatized.
Yeah,
that's exactly what this is. It's real trauma of having to deal with huge giant monsters fighting the city.
Can we go non-horror for a second? Did you ever see that short film that this guy made? And it wasn't theatrical. He couldn't get the rights, so that's why he had to do it for free. But it's like not a fan film. Like it's like a legit movie. Power Rangers, where they did like them all grown up and just the effects. Dude, I fucking loved that. Good. And I was like, and of course you knew they were never going to fully embrace that and make a real movie like that. But it was that's cool. What. And so when you're saying that, it kind of reminds me of that. It's like, because the same thing is like, if you look at it from like a realistic standpoint, not the cheesy ass way they did Power Rangers,
you would get
that would you'd have these kids. It's like not just the fight they're constantly fighting. You realize that you're not the only person in this universe. There's aliens out there. Not just that, they want to take you down. And if they were actually done real, it would be very psychologically damaging. Like, you're facing this thing that could end all mankind. It's all on your shoulders. That's a fucked up thing for a high schooler to go through. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're making it sound even better now. So
it's cool.
I'll check it out. I'm going to check it out.
And what if your dad was a piece of shit? That's the main
Start
thing.
on there.
That's the main thing. That's the main theme in the show.
Is that why the Power Ranger turned out happy-go-lucky then? Because they all had great parents and they didn't get abused at home? So
listen, I'm not going to say parents play a huge role, but when they do, they're not. When a parent shows up on Power Rangers, they're probably not a good parent, and that's why they're showing up.
That could be.
Only recently.
It does seem like those Power Rangers were constantly out doing shit, and parents never once said, where's Jason at?
Listen, if it's a parent episode, typically it's either to show that the kid is being an asshole or the parent doesn't understand.
There's a lesson at the end, though. They hug, and they realize...
It's all a misunderstanding.
It's all it is.
Which everything is.
Usually, that's how it goes.
Poignant. Truth.
So, one movie I watched this past month, finally got hold of. How do you feel about the VHS series? Did you ever watch any of those? Not big on them?
So, I watched the first one.
Okay. So here's my take on and this includes this is like, you can literally just switch the titles out and it's going to be the same review for all of them.
Exactly.
Some of them are good. Some of those shorts are like fucking awesome. And then some of them are just so stupid or dog shit. And you're like, what? I feel like if you were literally like, Daniel, here's every VHS, segment. Make your own. I could make the greatest fucking anthology film for VHS. But it's like, it's the same thing. Like, every one of them was just... And so VHS 99 was this one. And it was kind of the same thing where it's like, you had a couple of really cool ones. Without going into detail, because we're running out of time here. The first, one I really liked was this kids game show. It was a kind of a nod to Legends of the Hidden Temple show I grew up with in the 90s. But it's like... dark and like the kids get kind of fucked up. I love it when you kill or injure kids in movies because I'm fucked up like that, but it's like when you injure or kill a kid, then it's like there is no boundaries anymore, and I love that because in mainstream horror, kids are usually safe. But it goes in a really weird direction. And then the other one is these two guys get sucked down to hell, like legit stuck in hell, and are trying to get back. And it has a bit of a comical twist to it.
Ish.
Not as funny, I
Not
guess.
that comedy.
No, not that kind of comedy. But still, it has like, and I don't know. I really love the way they depicted hell. I like the idea of it.
It's such a short though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Every one of them is like that. So, but like I said, the rest of them are just kind of so. So VHS 99, watch it, but just know that only a couple of segments will be all right. So.
Wet fart.
Oh, and there we are. We're going to end on wet farts. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for joining us. This has been a half-hour bullshit. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Josh.
And guys, we'll catch you next time.